practice 1 in the books. Nole Insiders Lane Hurt and Tim Linefelt here with you after the first spring practice of the Mike Norvell era. Tim, I think immediately you saw the energy, the constant movement. That was my biggest takeaway from day one.
Yeah, it really is something. Again, it's a situation you get out here, and it's like there's no. Yeah, I don't know. You don't even see the start. It's like they've been doing it for hours already, and obviously they haven't. But everybody knows exactly where to be, and just everybody is moving. It did remind me of the tour of duty in that sense, and that like everywhere you looked, something was happening. Somebody was doing something, and somebody was probably out hollering instructions or getting on to guys. Yeah, really the number one thing that stood out to me is it seemed like there was no learning curve. You know, it wasn't like a first day figuring it out, easing into things. I mean, they were going full speed, at least from what I could tell, right from the jump. Now, we'll see in a couple days, maybe it'll get even more so, but for day one, it really was impressive at just how well everything seemed to be running.
Coach Norvell said from day one he has an expectation for this team, and like you said, he didn't water down anything. This is what they're going to be. This is what is expected of them, and they're going to have to rise to the occasion.
No, exactly right. But you know, the cool thing about that is though they're not just being told to meet a standard and then that's it. You know, if somebody messes something up on a rep, there's somebody right there on them to tell them what they got right, what they got wrong. Even if somebody does something that looks good, we saw a few plays, especially in receiver DB drills. Oh man, that looks like an awesome play. And then there's Mike Norvell running down the sideline. Hey, make sure your hands are over here instead of over here, or what have you. There's a countless examples of that sort of thing. So even when things are going well, you're still being graded, corrected, critiqued. All toward the idea of getting better. And Mike Norvell did say that he was pleased with day one, but like most coaches, there's a lot to get better with.
All three quarterbacks talked, Jordan Travis, James Blackman, and the newbie Tate Rodemaker. Your thoughts on what the QBs had to say today?
Well, it's just I think they're kind of all sort of in the same boat right now. I think they're optimistic. I think they're excited about what the future holds, but it's still a long way to go. So it was cool to hear from those guys, but I think they're all sort of kind of waiting and seeing.
Now that you've seen day one, what is something that you're really looking forward to this spring and just seeing how something plays out?
I just want to see how things progress. I really was almost shocked at the level that we saw on day one. It makes me wonder, what's day 5, day 7, what are those going to look like in terms of the speed and the energy and that sort of thing? And the truth is, we just sort of don't know. But I really am looking forward to seeing just sort of how the team progresses. And then there's some other stuff too, man. There are some really impressive. I know everybody wants to know about the true freshman. Again, Brian Robinson, the receiver, I thought looked physically really, really impressive out there. Carter Boatwright, the new tight end, jumped out at me as well. Physically, he looks like a guy who can really make some plays. I know Coach Norvell singled out some other guys as well. So looking forward to seeing how those guys come along too.
In the same vein, I really want to see what, like you said, day 7, 8, 9 look like.
Yeah.
It's easy to have the enthusiasm on day one. What's it like when you get into the middle of spring and the coaches are riding you a little bit more, the expectations become even higher? How are guys going to kind of handle that part of things?
But I thought Coach Norvell really he addressed that in his post-game press conference post-practice press conference, and he said that he's not asking those guys to do anything that he's not. That one doesn't serve a purpose, and that he's not going to be right there alongside them, doing things with them or coaching them. He said, "I'm not going to waste 1 minute of your time, and everything here is for something." So I think when you have that and you see the results that the guys have gotten thus far, it makes it easier to buy into that. And then knowing that you're not, kind of backing up what we said a minute ago, you're not just doing things with no rhyme or reason or without having an understanding of what you're supposed to be doing. You're getting an explanation and then immediate feedback. From every single rep, there's a coach. Usually it's Mike Norvell, because that guy, he doesn't stop.
He is everywhere.
But whoever the case may be, you're getting immediate feedback and critique on what you've done. And a lot of it's positive, some of it's constructive, but there's always something. And so you go right back in line and do it again. And I do think that kind of positive reinforcement, at least through day one, was really, really evident.
There you have it, Seminole fans. 14 more of these this spring, and of course the Nole Insiders will be there. Tim will have some written content. We'll have some videos up as well on social media, photos as well. A lot more to come this spring. That'll wrap up things for now. For Tim, I'm Lane. Go Noles.